ARMRA went from 0 to $150 million in revenue in just 4 to 5 years. And they did it selling a supplement that most people have never even heard of before, colostrum. Their email marketing strategy is a masterclass in selling a science-backed product that requires a lot of education while still making their emails feel approachable, skimmable, and exciting to open. So in this video, I'm breaking down every single email ARMRA sent in 2025, their email design template, the psychology behind why their emails work so well, and the exact framework you can steal to apply to your own brand, whether you're selling supplements, skincare, or anything else that requires customer education. By the end of this video, you have a complete playbook for how to turn your email list into a revenue generating machine. And if you want a full breakdown of this document filled with templates and insights, you grab it for free in the description below. So getting into the emails, ARMRA has sent out roughly 190 emails across 2025. And these emails are no joke. These are incredibly long, incredibly detailed, very well designed too. Every email looks like it stands out on its own. They don't follow a specific template per se. They do have some variations when it comes to different sections that they're using, like the hero section, info, educational sections, product testimonials, recipes, that sort of stuff. And you can see it layered out, like once when we get into the email design template. But all in all, these all look very unique and different. So you can tell their design team and they're very detailed when it comes to this sort of stuff. Like they're very tuned in to like what's really working and what really makes them stand out within their brand guidelines. So like I said, roughly 190-ish emails across 2025, comes out to 3 to 4 campaigns per week. In terms of what they are actually sending out, a majority of the campaigns that are sending out is educational and science-backed content. So getting to the science around colostrum, what is it, what are the health benefits, getting into the research, bringing up actual studies and case studies that's out there in the market. And then also looking at education around immune health, skincare health. They also include some athletic stuff. So really just focusing around that. They talk about gut health, bring up again clinical studies and scientific evidence behind colostrum and why you should be invested in it and taking it. Next is also product focused promotion. So this is like a really good even split here. Sometimes they'll be just promoting the product and just talking about the main benefits of it. So you can see here, have your cake and eat it too. Here's the myth. Here's the fact. Here's why you should be taking ARMRA. So you see a lot of emails that are just focused on promoting the product. Same thing here, because colostrum is milk derived. They talk about cattle. They talk about, the cows that they source from, how they source the actual colostrum, what's the process of creating it, and then also the studies backed behind the product. What are the benefits that you're going to see or likely to see from taking the product? So obviously they do an amazing job here, and none of the emails really feel like they're reiterating the same thing over and over again. Each email has its own unique purpose, both at a design standpoint and also messaging standpoint. So it really stands out in the inbox. And then lastly, there's going to be promotional sale content. So they're going to be talking about subscription offers, site-wide sales, new product launches. That's also a key part. And then they also sprinkle in some founder authority content. So they'll be talking about behind the brand story and mission, professional health recommendations, that sort of stuff. That's kind of the overall mix. We're going to get more into that later once we break down more of the sending strategy. But that's kind of the overall split there in terms of the primary campaign types. Once you get into the promotional and non-promotional split, majority of the time, they're not promoting the product too much. It's like an 80-20 split, 80% being non-promotional, where they're talking about colostrum education, bioactive science, immune system optimization, stuff from the founder, like I mentioned previously, customer success stories, wellness integrations. So they're kind of like indirectly promoting the product, but not to the point where they're like, hey, here's the offer, here's the discount, go for the sale, buy now, right? The other 20% of that is exactly that. They are talking about limited time discount offers, flash sales, promotional events, bundle deals, stock urgency, scarcity messaging, that sort of stuff. Then when you talk about look at the product focus strategy, ARMRA only has a few select SKUs that they are actually promoting. So 75% of the time, they are only talking about the hero product. They're talking about ARMRA colostrum and nothing really else. 20% of the time, they're talking about product format variations. So it could either be in the powder, like the jar, or it could be like the stick packs that are good for traveling. It could be the flavor options or variations. It could be serving size options, like we just showcased with like the XL jar. And then 5% is talking about bundles or multi-product. So they'll have some gift sets, starter kits, subscription packages, that sort of stuff. But for the most part, they're just talking about the main hero product, just pushing them to the page where the customers can make their own choice of what do I want in terms of flavoring, or if I need it for travel, or if I'm just going to take it at home. Primary CTAs, most of the time it's a direct purchase. Choose ARMRA, Shop Now, Shop ARMRA. 15% is talking more about education. Learn more, read the science, discover more, and it'll probably take you to one of their science pages on the website. And then another 5% is just sales specific CTAs talking about the discount. In terms of the photography, as you can see here, like their photography here just in March is immense. They're not reusing any sort of creative. And then you can see the massive blend of just the different colors that stand out. Most of the time it's green, but in terms of like the layouts and the different imagery and styling here, everything sticks out to you like a sore thumb. It's really well made, and it really goes to show how dedicated they are to maintaining a good, consistent brand messaging and voice and style. So, but going back to here, 50% of the photography is more so lifestyle integration, lifestyle active scenarios, whether it's fitness, work, family, real people, and authentic usage moments. Like there's this guy drinking the actual colostrum, there's this guy working out, there's this guy smiling. 30% is roughly like product focus photography, so clean premium product shots and neutral backgrounds, powder and stick pack format showcases, product packaging with clear branding. So you can see here they're showcasing the product. You have this on a mountain of colostrum here. Here's another guy with his bag. Here's the guy playing tennis. There's tons of different lifestyle images that they are using, blending in with product focus imagery. And then lastly, the last 20% is like scientific and educational graphics. So they have like diagrams, they have charts, they have illustrations, they're visualizing certain key research data. It's all, we're going to get more into that in a bit, but it's really interesting to see how much work they dedicate to making the science very simple for you to understand and make it very straightforward. And then in terms of just basic best practices for DTC brands that you can implement for your brand, first of all, lead with scientific and credibility through visual design. Use infographics, charts, research citations to build authority. These really help out a lot, especially if you are an education first brand or your product requires a lot of education. Helps a ton in making things simple and skimmable for readers so that they clearly understand and visualize what this product is going to help you do. 2, multi-CTA strategy, 2 to 3 per email. So you can see here, they are consistently leading throughout the emails, like CTA buttons right at the top. There's another one right here. There's another one right here. There's another one right here. And there's like a product section here. So they're always leading to a CTA button or pushing you to the website as much as possible after some education or learning more about the product. Next one, create visual hierarchy for long form educational content. So with clear sections, headers, and white space. As you can see here, these emails are not short. They're actually very long. They're longer than you would normally think or expect to have in an email. The amount of just copy here that you have to go through is quite a bit, but they break everything up in a very clear, succinct way so that you never get bored and there's not just a huge paragraph of text that you have to read. Even just looking at the network of life, this imagery of some coral, they have a quick description, then they have these bullet points. There's another man right here, like just a lifestyle image, and then there's another section here, and then breaks it up into the product. Same thing here, looking at like myths versus facts. The way this section is even set up and formatted is amazing, and you can see here how clearly it is broken up so that you can clearly understand what's going on and you can read through it really quick. So yeah, even this one here, this could be a wall of text. They broke it up. They included some lifestyle imagery, some cool formatting here that's unique with their brand. This is an amazing section here, your 5-point power play. This is a super simple idea for you to really understand as you breeze through the email. So I think these emails are fantastically well made, and especially if you want to make them long form, you just want to make sure that you're not making it so hard for your reader to read through it. Next is maintain premium aesthetic through photography. So clean, bright, professional product shots. You can see here, everything here is completely bright. It's either really, really bright or it has really good dark contrast. Like looking at this tennis player here, I can clearly see him. The tennis court is a much more darker blue, but I can understand visually the context and the contrast of what's going on in all these images. And this entire email just broken down, I can understand clearly what's in each one, and how it can all stand out to me. Next, color code campaign type subtly through accent colors while maintaining brand consistency. Obviously, as you can see here, some of these emails are clearly just green and blue that correlate with their brand guidelines and colors. In this email, you can see that they're promoting a new set of flavors, like product flavors. And so the colors that they're using in these emails correlate and correspond with the flavoring. So sun gold, apricot, vine watermelon, blood orange, arctic chai, all these different flavorings here, they all stand out a lot more than anything else because that's the main point of the email. Even if you look at this new product launch that they're doing here, this new flavoring, it stands out in this blood orange kind of color. Then they have sun gold apricot, right? They all are formatting in a way so that if they're promoting that product, that color palette will correspond with it. And that's a really genius thing that a lot of brands don't even realize. And then also position CTAs naturally within the content flow rather than only at the email end for educational campaigns. Even if you look at something like this email is about making your cells sweat for revival. There's a CTA button right here. Then we have some more education around ARMRA, bullet points, CTA button, and then 4 ways to make revival second nature. 1, 2, 3, 4, CTA button, and then 15% off your first subscription order. And then there's another set of products that you can pick one. So there you have it. Those are the main insights that I found when I was going through the emails. Now we're going to get into the email design breakdown to really fully understand the main sections that they're using and the different variations that they're applying to their email marketing. So few main sections that they're mainly including here. Number 1 is a banner image / hero section. Next is the product benefits and education section. Then product highlights section, miscellaneous section, so like FAQs, recipes, that sort of stuff, and then testimonials. So getting into that banner, image, and hero section, few main things. Obviously, as you can see here, throughout all these different sections, they all look different. Like I said before, the main hero section is the first one, or the main section that they were really split testing and making sure that it stands out in the inbox right when you click on the email. So the main way I picked out these different sections is based on where the text and CTA buttons are placed, as well as how the product is being highlighted, right? So all these images are obviously going to be different. However, you want to make sure that whatever sections you're using or imagery, however the format of the copy and the images are overlaid and formatted is really important. So looking at here, have your cake you need it too. You have the product right in the middle. Empower your water. Someone's pouring the pack into the water here. Then it's the CTA button. One more shot with a little badge here. Here they have a cool little overlay where they have the text here. It's more blurred out. Then they have this calves, they have the main headline here, some body copy, and then a CTA. They have this split here where it's one is the product shot and the next is like a lifestyle image of a woman. They have all these different sections here that they're using. This is like a testimonial email. This is a product launch email. This is a glossary, like pretty much as an education around the vocabulary around colostrum. They have timers here. This is another product highlight email. This is where they're including like social proof. Like these are comments from a social media post. There are so many sections here that they're really highlighting and using that it's a master class in understanding how to get people's attentions just through different formats. So first things that really come out here, they're using bold aspirational headlines that transcend product benefits. So they're really empowering. A lot of these headlines are empowerment driven, meaning like they're speaking to a lifestyle philosophy instead of just like supplement features. So it's very short, very punchy. Have your cake, you need it too. You can have it all. Empower your water. First milk, first food, first priority, calves, get taken aback. All these headlines are very punchy. They really stick out, and it's really good, just like idioms for wellness content. 2, vibrant, saturated background colors with organic textures. So every hero features bold, mood-setting backgrounds and with no neutral tones. So they have electric blue, hot pink, magenta, vibrant orange, organic texture overlays, solid cover. So like water ripples, abstract paint strokes, or like this one, or gradients. All these different like colors are shaping through and really stand out. One thing you'll always notice within these campaigns, the CTA button is always at the top. It's always readily available to see, so that when someone clicks on, they open up the email on their phone, they can easily see that CTA button and they click through. So it gets their people's attention and pushes them to the site. And then they always include ARMRA in all caps within the button copy. Every single eCTA button here, except for this one, has ARMRA in it, right? If you go through the line here, choose ARMRA, shop at Sun Gold Apricot, that's a product there. Choose ARMRA, experience ARMRA. All of these here are talking about, like, or at least 90% of them include the product brand name. And then number 5 are just mainly unexpected visuals that you see. So they don't use the same imagery that you would expect from a supplement brand. And this really stands out for them. So generally, when you see a lifestyle brand or you see a nutrition brand, you can understand what you're getting into. Like if you sign up for Gymshark's emails, it's gonna be people wearing the product. It's gonna be around the leggings or the shirts or the activewear. Here, you have no idea what you're opening up, right? Here's an image of an adorable calf. Here's the image of someone drinking the product. Here's the product itself, someone pouring in the product. That's pretty standard, right? But then they also have a lot of these images around the flavoring and like the actual flavors. There's apricot or peach. There's a lime. Even just the gradients. There's space, right? There's a space here. There's space here. There's a dog right here. All of these stand out so much that you would never expect seeing like all these different product and use shots or lifestyle shots like being used within these emails. And it really stands out, and they've done an amazing job at highlighting that within the brand. Then we get into product benefits education. So this is pretty straightforward and standard. So a lot of it, like I said before, is science-backed ingredient breakdowns. So they'll be breaking down the ingredients and using bullet points to highlight the different bioactive ingredients. Here's PQQ, lactoferrin, glutathione, all these, and then what's the benefit of taking that supplement or that ingredient. Then they'll have comparison charts that showcase value proposition. So they'll be showcasing benefit categories in like hair, skin, digestion, metabolism, and then also breaking down the per serving cost breakdown. So you can see here ARMRA versus the others. If you really want a good health supplement for your hair, your skin, digestion, metabolism, fitness, immunity, energy, brain health, whole health, ARMRA includes all that at a really good cost per serving, whereas others, they can really stack up and become really expensive for you. So that's a really cool section that they include there. And then also lastly is like educational listicles. So just explaining the product mechanism. This is like a simple one to do. Here's another one where it just kind of breaks down the different benefits you'll expect to see from ARMRA. And then also this is a simple section here too that they include where it really just is a whole breakdown listicle of the product and how it all works. Regeneratively raised, 400 plus bioactive nutrients, calves come first, less waste, more impact. So really just highlighting in the overall benefits of using the product and all. So getting into the product highlights section insights, they're really straightforward. A lot of these look very different, but the way they showcase the products is really, honestly, really good. So number one are promotional banners. They'll include a lot of these promotional banners if you have never ordered a subscription. It says take 30% off your first subscription order. Welcome code. Code is welcome 30. They include a lot of those banners there. Next is just a really good product grid with minimal design. They'll be including a lot of these different grids here, like, hey, here's these different products you should be looking at, or even here if you need, depending on like what kind of flavoring you like, right? If you want mild and creamy, if you want bright and silky and zesty and tart, there's like a breakdown of what flavorings you might be interested in looking for. They also include like lifestyle photography of it, right? Here's like the products that are like frozen in blocks of ice, which is actually like a really cool way of showcasing the product, honestly. So that's really cool that they do that. Number 3 is just sensory focused flavor marketing. So they'll be using a lot of really good photography. I've already mentioned this before, but using the fruit ingredients as the backgrounds. Sun Gold Apricot, Vine Watermelon, Peach Persimmon. This is all like really good ways of getting people to think about the flavoring. All right, so next we have the other miscellaneous sections. So this is our FAQs, recipes, etc. So number 1 are recipe cards that they use. So they'll include ingredient lists and step-by-step instructions, like as you can see here. So they're going to include recipes that you can also throw in with their products. So the 1 or 2, the Arctic Chai travel sticks, 3 scoops of unflavored ARMRA, plus a few other ingredients to include. They'll include instructions so that you can actually enjoy the product in a different font format, right? So they'll include that as well. And that's a simple way of doing it. Very simple, especially if you're selling beverages or you're selling mixers or a drink. I think this is by far a super simple, easy product campaign you could be promoting. that really gets people to think about different ways of trying and using your product. Next is the Q&A format. So they'll be using educational content structured as a conversation that addresses potential objections. I work out daily. Why am I not seeing better results? A simple FAQ section can easily address common objections or concerns that people will naturally have when shopping the products. Number 3, these are myth busting sections. Yeah, so you can see here, myth number 1 and the fact, your skin needs more products, your skin needs better environmental harmony. Myth number 2, collagen is a silver bullet. The fact is that collagen is just one building block. So these are super simple ways of like also addressing if you need to do education. People loved myths versus facts or like myth busting sort of stuff. Last one is testimonials. So testimonials are an amazing section to include within your emails. If you're not including them, you should be. They're a very easy fix to addressing social proof and getting your customers to sell the product for you. So these are pretty straightforward. There's only a few select sections that stood out to me and I put in here. They don't really cut these down. A lot of these are fairly long. So my sleep's wake up call, and this is a full 3-sentence, 4-sentence paragraph here from Daniel. And it's most of the time you could cut that out. Same thing here, fam love. This is probably 4 or 5 sentences here. They could have cut this down, but they didn't. And I don't know whether that's intentional or not. Personally, me, I'd cut that down, like just cut out the unnecessary parts. But it's a really cool way to showcase the testimonials and showcase that they're legitimate too. And there's also another one here where they did it based on the product. So instead of just a general one here about what the flavor is or based around the actual product, they did it around the flavoring here, and then they showcased the CTA button around right under the testimonial. So that is all there is with the email design breakdown. Those are all the different sections that they are regularly including within the emails. Now let's get into their email campaign strategy. So this is going to be pretty straightforward, but should give you should highlight what they include within each section of their email strategies. So generally, the way we break down email strategy is based on the 3 layers within the marketing funnel. So you have top of funnel, you have middle funnel, and then you have bottom of funnel. You could really break down every single or any single email campaign based on within these 3 categories. And we're going to get into that right now. So top of funnel for us is generally educational and brand building content. So these are top of funnel emails that teach your subscribers something useful without pushing for a sale. A lot of it is going to be building trust, showcasing that you're expert in the space, helpful tips, breaking down the science, myth busting, sharing brand news. You might be featuring the products, they might be included, but they're not the start of the show. That's not the whole point of the email. Most of the time, these emails keep your brand in people's minds and make them want to keep opening their emails. So like I said before, how-to guides, myth busting, ingredients, recipe emails, PR announcements, partnership reveals. And the main goal of these emails is just to build trust and educate. So then when they're ready to buy, they'll come to you. And as we covered previously, a lot of the emails that they showcase are already like that here. So you have a recipe email. They get into like bioactives. This is like the main idea around bioactives. Tips for transformation, probiotics. This is one straight from the brand founder. Here's the scoop. So this is like a general newsletter. There's all these different types of campaigns that they're running that really work well for them. And there's providing education around colostrum or around the product, right? Then we have middle funnel. So middle funnel is much more product focused and social proof. This is where you're connecting the products to subscribers' goals. You're showing them how the products solve their problems, when to use them, why they work. They still provide value, but the product is front and center. The product is the main thing. These are usage guides, product benefit breakdowns, customer testimonials, before and after stories, bundle and stack guides. And the main goal for these is just to get people thinking about buying specific products. And the CTAs are pushing people to that product page. So as you can see here, designed by nature, perfected for you. 4-way travel hijacks your health. Products is right here, the ARMRA Revival Bundle. Choose ARMRA, choose your adventure, be extra, backed by popular demand. The dream team, so which are you doing, the performance revival or the regular standard jar? They're all really featuring the product here, and there's always like a purpose to what you're really pushing people towards. And then lastly, the bottom of funnel email. So these are mainly pushing people to sales, promotions, and direct conversions. These are mainly just to drive sales, period. These are your promotional emails. You're not trying to educate. You're just trying to push people to the sale. These are discount promotions, sales announcements, sales reminders, product launches, free gift offers, etc. It's really just focused around driving revenue, making sales, and converting subscribers to customers. So as you can see here, this product is almost sold out. Here's a new product launch. We're launching this product soon. New product, we're launching this product soon. So you can see here how they structure out these promotional events, especially around Black Friday too. They don't do this quite commonly throughout like the rest of the year, but most of the time they don't really do that at the like unless it's a big sales event. So there you have it. There's ARMRA's full email strategy for 2025. Now, if you want the full document breakdown, it's completely free. Just click the link in the description and download it below. If you're an e-commerce brand that is making $1 million a year in revenue on average and want us to audit your email strategy and show you where you're leaving money on the table, click the link in the description below the document to book free audit with my team. We'll analyze your flows, your campaigns, and show you exactly how to turn your email list into a revenue machine, just like ARMRA. So without further ado, I'll talk to you later.